The Blue Hole of Dahab, Egypt, has earned its notorious reputation as the world's most dangerous dive site. It's a place where beauty and peril meet, and where divers' ambitions are often pushed to the extreme. Many have entered its inviting waters, but not all have returned. Today, we explore the fates of two such divers, Keenan and Yuri Lipsky, both highly skilled, but neither fully prepared for what awaited them beneath the surface. Nestled along the coast of Dahab, the Blue Hole is a vertical underwater cave that stretches more than 100 meters deep. From the surface, it's a diver's paradise, with crystal clear waters and colorful coral reefs lining its edges. But as you descend into its depths, the once tranquil environment turns into a dark, disorienting void. The abyss exerts a magnetic pull on those looking to challenge the boundaries of human endurance. But with that challenge comes great risk. The geological structure of the Blue Hole has fascinated explorers, scientists, and adventurers for decades. It's not just a dive spot, it's a mysterious formation that has become an enigma. Formed by the collapse of limestone into a vast vertical shaft, the Blue Hole connects to the open sea via a tunnel known as the Arch. At around 56 meters below the surface, the Arch tempts divers to pass through, emerging into the open ocean on the other side. However, this tunnel has been the site of numerous tragedies. Divers often misjudge the distance, their air supply, or the effects of nitrogen narcosis, leading to fatal mistakes. What should be a few minutes of awe and exploration can turn into a harrowing, life-threatening ordeal. The Blue Hole's beauty is as deceptive as it is deadly. From above, the hole looks serene, a haven of tranquility. But beneath the surface lies a dark vortex that has claimed the lives of many skilled divers. Yet, this peril is part of its allure. Despite the risks, the Blue Hole continues to attract seasoned technical divers and freedivers who come to test their limits. They are drawn to the thrill of exploring an underwater frontier, sometimes unprepared for the consequences that await in its cold, unyielding depths. One such diver was Keenan, a safety diver whose last heroic act was an attempt to save another diver, Keenan. Keenan, born in Ireland, was a respected freediving instructor and safety diver. His journey into the world of freediving began with a deep passion for the ocean and a desire to explore the limits of human endurance underwater. He had dedicated his life to freediving, running a school for divers in Dahab, where the Blue Hole was a constant presence. Known for his skill, bravery, and calm demeanor, Keenan was well loved in the diving community. But his last dive would become the most important and most tragic of his life. On July 22, 2017, Stephen was acting as the safety diver for Italian freediving champion Alessia Zecchini, who was attempting the infamous dive through the Arch of the Blue Hole. Zecchini, a world record holder in freediving, had spent weeks training in Dahab, and Stephen had been with her throughout, providing guidance and safety. Alessia had prepared for this dive under Stephen's careful instruction, and they were both experienced and ready for the challenge. However, things went wrong during the dive. As Alessia began her descent, she moved through the arch, but at some point she became disoriented underwater. She missed the safety line that was supposed to guide her ascent back to the surface. Free diving, unlike scuba diving, relies solely on the diver's breath-holding abilities, making disorientation in a place like the Blue Hole particularly dangerous. Realizing that something was wrong, Stephen immediately dove after her. He was already near his own physical limit, but didn't hesitate to dive deeper in an attempt to reach her. His training and instincts took over, driving him to save Alessia, despite the clear dangers. Freedivers and safety divers often train for moments like this, understanding that lives depend on quick action and calm execution. Stephen's experience in rescue dives was second to none. But on this day, the odds were not in his favor. With incredible effort, Stephen finally reached Alessia and guided her toward the surface. The ascent was a grueling one. Freediving at such depths depletes oxygen quickly, and Stephen was running dangerously low. Yet he pressed on, determined to bring her back to safety. However, just 10 meters from the surface, Stephen lost consciousness due to a blackout caused by oxygen deprivation. Alessia, on the other hand, was saved. Other divers helped bring her to safety, and though she was disoriented and exhausted, she survived the ordeal. Stephen, however, never regained consciousness. His heroic act had cost him his life. The diving community was devastated by the loss of such a selfless and skilled safety diver. Stephen's bravery is remembered throughout the diving community, and his story stands as a testament to the dangers of the Blue Hole and the risks divers take to help one another. His selflessness underscores a core value of diving, trusting in your team and putting others' safety above your own. Stephen gave everything in an attempt to save Alessia, embodying the ultimate sacrifice. While Stephen Keenan's story is one of heroism and sacrifice, Yuri Lipsky's story is one of overconfidence meeting the deadly reality of the Blue Hole. Yuri Lipsky was born on January 15, 1978, and by the age of 22, he was a skilled scuba diver and instructor. Like many before him, Yuri was drawn to the Blue Hole by its reputation as a thrilling but dangerous dive site. In April 2000, Yuri arrived in Dahab with one goal in mind: to film his dive into the Blue Hole using a helmet-mounted camera. Yuri was confident in his abilities. He had completed hundreds of dives before, and he believed he had the experience necessary to handle the challenges of the Blue Hole. His plan was to make a bounce dive, a rapid descent to depth followed by a quick ascent, allowing him to capture footage without staying underwater for too long. However, even with his experience, Yuri underestimated the dangers of the Blue Hole. The site's depth, combined with the potential for nitrogen narcosis, posed a significant risk. Nitrogen narcosis, often referred to as the rapture of the deep, impairs a diver's judgment, motor skills, and cognitive functions. Divers affected by narcosis may feel euphoric or confused, leading them to make poor decisions. It's one of the many reasons why deep dives in places like the Blue Hole are so dangerous. Before embarking on his dive, Yuri met with Tarek Omar, a well-known technical diver in Dahab. Tarek had spent years diving in the Blue Hole, accumulating stories of danger and loss. He warned Yuri about the challenges of diving to such depths without proper preparation, offering to train him for 2 weeks. Yuri, however, was only in Dahab for the weekend. Confident in his abilities, he declined the offer. Tarek's eyes lingered on Yuri for a moment, as though he sensed the danger ahead, but Yuri's mind was set. On the morning of April 28, 2000, Yuri began his dive. The waters of the Blue Hole were calm, and the sun shone brightly overhead. His camera captured the stunning beauty of the coral reefs as he descended. At first, everything seemed to be going according to plan. But as Yuri descended past 100 feet, the Blue Hole began to reveal its darker side. The sunlight faded, and the water grew colder. Unbeknownst to Yuri, his buoyancy control device, a critical tool for managing depth, was malfunctioning. He began to sink faster than he had intended. For any diver, this is a nightmare scenario. With no control over his descent, Yuri was now at the mercy of the Blue Hole's depth. At 262 feet, the situation spiraled out of control. Yuri was deep enough to experience nitrogen narcosis. The footage from Yuri's helmet camera shows the moment when his breathing became labored, his movements frantic. Panic set in as Yuri realized he was sinking too fast, and his body was feeling the effects of the extreme depth. In his disoriented state, Yuri made a fatal mistake. He removed his regulator, the device supplying him with air. His final moments, captured on film, show him struggling to regain control, but it was too late. When Yuri failed to resurface, panic spread among those waiting for him. Local divers and authorities were called to assist in the search. Among them was Tarek Omar, the experienced technical diver who Yuri spoke to, who had also been involved in countless recoveries at the Blue Hole. Tarek descended into the depths to retrieve Yuri's body. At 302 feet, he found Yuri, with his camera still attached. It was a recovery Tarek had made far too many times before. The footage from Yuri's final dive, later recovered from his camera, became a haunting reminder of how quickly things can go wrong beneath the surface. For Tarek Omar, this was another grim reminder of the dangers of the Blue Hole. Over the years, he had become known as the Bone Collector for his role in recovering the bodies of divers who had met their end in the Blue Hole. His expertise, while invaluable, often came with the heavy burden of knowing that many of these deaths could have been prevented. The Blue Hole remains one of the most popular dive sites in the world, but its reputation as a deadly site is well earned. For every successful dive, there are stories of near misses, blackouts, and tragedies. The memorial plaques along the Blue Hole's edges bear witness to the many divers who never made it back to the surface. The site serves as both a lure and a warning to anyone daring enough to attempt its depths. Stephen Keenan's sacrifice highlights the importance of preparation, safety teams, and selflessness in surviving such extreme environments. His final act of bravery saved Alessia Zucchini's life, but it cost him his own. Keenan's heroism is a testament to the risks that divers face, not only for themselves, but for those they protect. On the other hand, Yuri Lipsky's tragic death underscores the dangers of overconfidence and how even a minor malfunction can turn deadly when diving at such depths. His helmet camera provided an eerie, first-hand look at how swiftly things can go wrong in the Blue Hole. His story, like many others, serves as a grim reminder of how unforgiving the abyss can be, even for experienced divers. For every diver who survives the Blue Hole's depths, there are those who never return. The memorials that dot the cliffs around the site are silent testaments to the lives lost in pursuit of exploration and adventure. It is both a place of triumph and tragedy, a destination where the stakes could not be higher and the consequences of failure are ultimate. If these stories resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to check out the videos appearing on the screen for more stories of exploration, survival, and tragedy from the depths. Stay safe, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.